everybody, my name is LiberTuber, and today I'm going to be showing you a basic tutorial of Hammer. And I apologize if I'm quiet at some moments. It's probably because it's 12 a.m. at night. Car. Anyway, sorry if you heard that. That was just a car outside. Anyway, so this is Hammer, and you can get to it by going to Steam, then going to this little tab right here, and then selecting tools right here. Depending on how many games you have, I have like 16 or something, so I have 97, whatever. Anyway, it should be, well, first you have to get any Valve game, then authoring tools, which for me I'm just going to use Portal 2 as an example. I actually do have Team Fortress, but whatever. So, if I go back to Hammer, you'll see that if you're like using Hammer for the first time, like it might look a little wonky, like they're not even. So what you want to do is hold Control plus A and then evens it out. So where to get started? I'm going to say simply how to get started. If you want to make a room, that's what we're going to be covering today. I'm going to make a simple room with, necessary stuff. Anyway, so click on the block tool. Now, so for me, if it like shows like the icon does right here, instead of the mouse, I just go off and go back on again until it fixes itself. It's a weird problem I have. If you have it, I have no idea how to fix it. I'm sorry. So what you want to do is you want to drag, and that places your box. This is something I like to call the skyscraper view. I just made that up, by the way. Basically, it's a top view, like bird eye. These down here are the two side views. Like, imagine a left and a right. These are, no, not a left and a right. Imagine a left and a front slash back. Right and a front slash back. Left, right, front, back, or however you want to put it, depending on which side is the front. Anyway, these are the two side views, and this is the top view. Yada yada yada. I'm gonna stop rambling. So you can use these little indicator things, these little white boxes. You can drag them out to make them, drag the corners out to make it bigger, these ones out to make it wider, drag the top two ones out to make them taller. So I'm just skip it down. So, and then once you're done shaping the cube, you press Enter, and that makes it a cube. And also, if you're wondering, Z, if you hover over the 3D viewport and you press Z on your keyboard, or Z if you're English, or English. Anyway, so that happens. I already have a texture selected to trigger. I'll get into that in another episode, probably. That is if I make one, That is if I make one, which I probably will, because I'm really good at this. Anyway, I'm gonna stop bragging. So, right now, it's just a box for you, because you don't have a texture selected. That is unless if you already had a texture selected, and if you ran Hammer before you watched this tutorial. So we're gonna hover our mouse over to here. We're gonna click Browse next to the it's probably going to be like a green, like hacker background looking thing for you. That's the default. Don't worry, that's fine. Now, this is Portal 2. It might be different for you if you're using a different game, like Half-Life, or, stuff like that. So it should look something like that. If it doesn't, then I don't know. Maybe you launched it before. Anyway, so for me, I'm just gonna use. I'll just use this texture. Actually, for the floor, this is the floor, so I'm gonna use this texture. And I'm gonna click. So we're gonna click on this little brick block thing, not any of these or anyone. It might look similar, just the plain brick. If you hover over it for a couple seconds, it should say apply current texture. So left click that once. Just want to swipe it. And here we have our checkerboard pattern. I know what you're thinking, Five Nights at Freddy's. No. You're an idiot. Anyway, so these are the side views. Now, this is my perfect chance to actually explain it. So I'm going to click browse again, and then you're going to select the texture for your walls, which in this case I'm just going to use some simple like texture. So I'm going to bring up the block tool again, drag it over like that. Now don't click enter if it looks wonky, alright? You want to, depending on which side you're using, drag it. Now I know this looks off just because it's from different angles and perspectives. That's the top perspective. This is the 3D viewport perspective, so that's why it looks different. Don't get confused. Alright? Yes, if you are. Anyway, enter. Now, whatever texture you have selected, it will apply it for every other side. Also, this is a useful tip. No draw is here. Let me show you. That's how you spell it. No draw right here. So the first no draw is the one that you should use if you're making like any shape at all, and if you're like. It's kind of hard to explain because you guys are beginners, but, well, at least I guess. So, if, basically no draw means that the computer doesn't have to render that side of the block. Imagine just a simple cube, and we only want one side of it to show. Obviously, we would have to. Yeah, 6. We would have to cover 5 sides. I'm stupid. Anyway, I had a little brain fart. So what you do is you're gonna use the no draw texture on that cube, and then you're going to take out this little like colorful brick right here. This is toggle texture application, aka Shift plus A, and you select the side you want it to be. Like, no, it doesn't select any of the other sides, as you can see. And we click browse, and so if you click browse and then select the no draw texture, then that's going to turn to no draw, and it's not going to render because the player doesn't need to see it. So here's a little map. Don't really, because like, also if you don't have a skybox, which actually I don't know how to use or like apply because I'm dumb and tutorials don't help, except, well, the basics, but that tutorial didn't help anyway. So I don't know how to add a skybox or anything. So if you run your map with any missing sides that you can see through, it's just gonna, here, let me show you. Well, first I have to add in, we're gonna use this entity tool thing, layer start should already be set to that for you. So you're gonna left click to place it down. And you should see your little guy right here. Kinda looks like Gabe, if I'm being honest. Gabe Newell. So anyway. Don't do that. Then we're gonna run the map. Let me just show you what this looks like. Oh, I have to save it. We can call this test underscore map underscore 212. Anyway, save. And then it's gonna run it. For some reason, for me, the map just doesn't load if run VIS is normal. So I just set it to no. Obviously, if you don't have this problem, don't do that. If, obvious reasons, don't do what it does. So anyway. So this is going to be what it looks like without the sky. Yeah, it looks cool. It's better. See, this is what it looks like. It just like copies whatever you're looking at and just like pastes it onto the sky. Just slaps it on there. Whoops. Top of the morning to you. My name's Jacksepticeye. This is freaking weird. So as you can see, we actually don't have a pool gun. I'm gonna get to that in the second episode. It's actually pretty easy, so I might have to put it right here. So what you can do is there's this little command thing that I can do. So we'll hold down left click. The selection tool. Hold down left click on the object and then hold down control and then drag it. Wait, no. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. Well, you just click on the object and click copy. It's all the way up there. Now it should be a little wonky, but so it's really long. So if you don't get the junk, then you're really dumb. It's really long code. Anyway, enough of me stupidly rambling. So anyway, what you can do is you can paste it again. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Sometimes you have to get it just right because sometimes it's off. There we go. I'm a slight perfectionist, if I do say so myself. Now, stuff like this happens. It's really annoying. Now, stretch this side out. Alright, there we go. It's matched up. A little technical. Obviously, it's pretty obvious what we're going to do. Obviously, we have to have a ceiling. I'm just going to go to the texture application, copy that texture, and then it's pretty obvious what to do from here. Copy paste that. You can really just copy paste it, guys. It's that easy. If you're done with the same texture on the floor, then you can just change it to a different texture. It's not my map. What the? So here's our little map. when you have this, looks like Minecraft Steve but with glasses. Anyway, it's supposed to be Easter egg to Dave Newell, I'm guessing. Anyway, so if I run the map now, it's gonna be really dark. I'll show you. Oh, I guess it's not going to be that dark, but then again, just for tutorial's sake, if it is dark for you, then I'm going to show you how to add in light. It's pretty easy. So you're going to go to the entity tool again, and instead of keeping it on info_player_store, you're going to delete that and type in just box. And then click on the first thing that shows up, which is the same thing that you did. Place that down, and you're going to align it with, well, you have to select it first with the selection tool. So you're going to want to align it with, there should be something in the here. You want to align it with this little X right in the middle. So I'm just going to do that right now. And also do this in all three parts, unless you want them on the Oh, you can't place it on the exact middle. Well, that's fine. Do you know why? It's because if you click the left and right bracket keys on the right side of the P and on the top left of the enter, unless you're using a different device, you're going to press the left or right to increase or decrease the complexity of the grid, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to keep it on this complexity. That's about right. So it is about in the middle right now, but for purposes, I'm just going to match up to one of the X's here. Match it up with this X. Just for purposes. It might be correct, it might be not correct. Anyway, enough of me rambling. We're gonna double click on this with the selection tool, and if you want to change the brightness or the color, you can go here. Since this is a fairly big room, I'm only gonna set it to the brightness to 350. And if you click this pick color thing, I'm just gonna change it to blue. I'm just gonna click on blue because that's my channel color, or whatever. Then always remember this: before you run a map, always want to click save right here, or unless your changes won't be saved. So we're gonna run it now and see what it looks like. Anyway, this is what it looks like with light. So as you can see, it looks slightly different, but this is our map now, and this is it. So that's about all the time I have today. I'm gonna see you later. If you ever have any comment section is then leave a comment on what you want to learn next. Yeah. Anyway, bye everyone, and see you later. Like and subscribe if you liked the video.
Is this what you've been waiting for? Say 1, 2, and 4.
Hi again, I'm Gay Ben, a fan of shooters, wizard of computers, and a handsome man. Wasn't easy keeping busy, every season brings another reason.